Well, good afternoon. Today I just want to come on here and show you how to use an acrylic block, photopolymer stamps, ink spot, and an ink pad. Now this little video is basically designed, I'm really creating this here video because I have some online community college students, and so we're going to be and what I did was I have extra paper pumpkin kits. So what I did, I basically just cut up some of those and sent it to them with one ink spot and a paper pumpkin acrylic block, because I wanted to try to teach them stamping. I also have an in-person class, and we actually do stamping in that class. But these ladies, for some reason or another, they weren't able to. We're doing it online. I'll just leave it like that. We're doing it online. So I'm going to share with you today how you use all of these materials when you're wanting to stamp an image or either a sentiment. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to pull off your stamp. Now there's a smooth side and a raised side. You always make sure that the smooth side is up against the block, okay? And the raised side is facing you. And with the little ink spot, what you're going to do is you're going to just lightly tap it on the raised edge of the stamp until you get the desired color that you're trying to achieve. And you just keep raising it, and just keep tapping it. Make sure that all areas of the stamp has ink on it. All areas of the raised image has ink on it. I'm sorry. So you do that. Then once you feel that you have your desired consistency, you're going to take the stamp, you're going to turn it over, and you're going to just press it against your scratch paper. Rub it like that to make sure, because what that does is kind of help the impression of the image. And then you raise it up, and voila, there's your stamped image. Now you could do the exact same thing. Smooth side, make sure that it's touching the block and the raised edge is facing you. But if you have and this is that particular one. Let me see if I can adjust my focus. Bring it in a little. Maybe I can bring this down some. But this is the stamp, okay? And it's like a shell stamp, okay? And so, but I use ink pads and I also use ink spots. And this is just one of my Stampin' Up! Ink pads, and it's the color, I'm sorry, I had this upside down. It's the color Evening Evergreen. So what you're going to do is you just open up your ink pad, but instead of you, and this is your stamp, instead of you going over it like that, because the ink pad is so large, you just turn over your ink pad, you grab your acrylic block, and you just lightly tap it on the ink pad until you get the desired color you're trying to achieve. You just do it just like that. Then let's just sit this to the side, because I do not like, if you have open ink pads, there's always a possibility for an ink boo-boo. So, and then what you do is you're going to turn this over, you lay it down, and you just rub your finger across the top like that, and that gives you your image. And so this is using the ink spot. With this, on this stamp we use the ink spot, and on this stamp we use the ink pad. And it's the same, you do it the exact same way, but like I said, when you're using an ink pad, because it's so much larger, it's much easier to bring the stamp on the acrylic block and just tap it on the ink pad instead of bringing the ink pad over there, because it's so big and you may end up with ink all over everywhere. Okay, and so now I'm going to show you how you would use this same technique on a sentiment. Okay, here's the sentiment, smooth side, and then you're just going to place the smooth side up against the block, and the raised edge is facing up, and you're just going to lightly tap it. Just lightly tap it like that. Okay, you just lightly tap it to make sure that all of the letters has ink on them. You just lightly tap it. And this way you know that you're getting a really good, intense colored sentiment. Okay. Then once you do that, then you're going to turn it over. And you're just going to stamp. Rub your finger across the top. And there's the sentiment. Now, I will tell you that it's always best when you're using inks, stamps, and acrylic blocks. It's always best that you practice on scratch paper before you put it on your actual label, because if you put it on your actual label, and let's just say, for instance, you have just the one label, or you don't have extras, well, you've put it on that piece, and now you can't use that piece anymore, because for the simple fact you've already used it. So I'm going to show you how, after practicing, I've decided that, okay, well, you know what? I like this sentiment and I want to put it on a label. So here's the label. And then you're just going to put the label like right here, like this. You turn it over. Now, I've practiced my sentiment on my scratch paper, and I like the way it came out. You can read the letters. The ink color is fine on there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put it on the actual label that you will be using for your project or your card, or if you're using it for a scrapbook page or something like that. I'm gonna show you what it looks like on the actual label. Okay. Okay, so we've cleaned the inks. I cleaned my inks. I cleaned my stamp. And so this time, instead of using the ink spot, I want to use a different color. So I'm going to use my block, my ink pad. My ink pad. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring in my ink pad. Now, I've already practiced on my scratch sheet of paper, and I know that, you know, I had the right impression, and I had the right pressure, and I had enough ink on it, so I know what it's going to look like. So, but I'm using a different color. So the first thing I'm going to do, and when you decide that you're going to use a different color, it's always still good to practice on your scratch sheet of paper before you actually put something on your label. So I'm gonna practice one more time on my scratch paper, and here's my image. And let's see exactly how it comes out. Okay. And as you see, my day is better because of you. So you notice that it gave a really good, nice, firm, crisp sentiment. You're able to read it. So you're just going to go back. You lightly tap it. Just kind of lightly tap it on the ink pad. And so now what I'm going to do, I want to put this same sentiment on a label. And because you can see through the block, you know how to line it up on your label so that it'll fit. So basically you just kind of make sure that your label is centered, and then you just go over, you look down. Let me bring this up some so that you can have a better, and I still like to leave my scratch paper there just in case. And then what you're going to do, you're just going to make sure that it's like centered or in the middle. You bring this down You rub it across the top like that. And there's your image. And it's on the label that you're going to use it on. So, like I said, this is just a little short, little 10-minute video or 10 to 15-minute video. It's not a long video. But basically, I just want you to know how to use an acrylic block, photopolymer stamps, an ink spot, and an ink pad. So thank you so much, and I will make sure that this video is posted on my YouTube channel, and you can always go back to it so that it can help you to learn how to ink up a stamp and place your stamp on an acrylic block. So thank you so much. And today is Valentine's Day, so may the Lord bless you with a wonderful, happy Valentine's. And may the rest of your day be filled with lots of fun, love, and just an very awesome Valentine's Day. Thank you so much, and you have a blessed day. Bye for now.